So it's better than Instagram. I don't like Instagram because people I actually know are there, or Facebook. I have family and they start asking questions, and I don't like all of that. So I like to come here and just talk shit, and I feel like I have no consequences, even though that's not true. But crazy thing happened this weekend where I met up with a person from my past, my ex, like, but not out of romantic thing, right? Not out of it wasn't like like trying to figure it out. We just had we had some things to tie up to finish up, right? Important things. So that the encounter didn't go good. It was not. It did not end the way I would have wanted it to, and maybe because I didn't have a plan on how it should have ended. I just didn't even know where it was going to go. So just to make it long story short, we're talking, and we got into the breakup, right? Like, how did it happen? How did it happen? And I have my version. She has her version. And to me, my version is the right one, right? Because how you going to tell me that what happened is not what happened? I was there. But she feels the same way. She got a version of the truth that to me is not the truth. Um, and what are we discussing? What's up? We're discussing how the truth is a perspective. We all have, you have a version of the truth. We can be all of us right now at the same place, experience the same thing at the same time. And you ask us each later what happened, and we all have a version of what happened. Because guess what? If you're standing over there and I'm standing here, what I'm looking at is going to have a different view. And it doesn't mean that it's not true or that what you see is not true or what I saw is not true. It's just the light was hitting what we're looking at different. So I saw shadows and you didn't. And that's what happens in relationships. Our relationships, when we break up, in hindsight, we all are right because I think I'm right. They think they're right. Are they wrong? From my perspective, they are because I don't feel that that's what happened. And are they right? I don't know. I didn't look at it from their point of view. But the problem is gaslighting, right? When they start trying to convince you that what happened actually is the truth, that what happened is actually real. And that's when I have a problem because, like, nah, I'm not going to say what you felt or your truth is not real, but don't try to tell me that what I felt or my truth is not real because that's the problem. Okay, how is it about right and wrong and not about understanding and causing harm when you're misunderstood? That's a great question, but it goes back to the same thing. It don't you're not going to understand the other person's perspective because you're not inside their body. You didn't feel what they felt, right? And when we try to make it seem like our truth is ultimate, my truth is the truth. Fuck what everybody else thinks. I know my truth is the truth. So everybody, you either think like me and you either agree 100% that my truth is the truth or it didn't happen or you're lying. We fall into that. I fall into that. That's what I'm saying. I've discovered this in this week in the circumstances that the conversation that I had, uh, she's right about a lot of things. Some things she's right about. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen or the way that they affected her, it was probably harmful and painful. right? I'm not taking that away from her. But the fact that she experienced some kind of pain doesn't mean that I didn't experience any pain from my perspective. And and she believes that since she experienced the breakup from a certain perspective that I'm wrong. And then now I gotta come and bow down into the wrongfulness. And it's not about that. And it's about, hey, if we don't get over this hump, we always going to end up, obstacles are gonna stop us from getting through this. What's next? We're not looking at what's next because we're stuck in a competition, an ego competition of who's right. So where does remorse and empathy come in? They don't. They don't at all because it's done. And being sorry about something that happened doesn't make it right. You got drunk and you got in the car and you drunk driving, killed somebody. You can feel horrible. Does not bring the person back. You can feel horrible about killing somebody because you got drunk and you got. It's not gonna bring the person back. Feeling bad about it now. There's consequences, but what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? Feel horrible now. Now, two lives are lost, right? Because your life is lost, their lives are lost. It's a bad situation for everyone. So how did you get over the hump of being wrong? Because a relationship didn't end on a one-way street. In thinking that even though you feel that they did you wrong, even that thinking that the only way to get over is for that person to apologize to you, to come back and bow down and say they're sorry, and you're the ultimate victim, is not going to change what happens. It- You say that it was never about communication, then it's the idea that someone is being punished for the way that they reacted to cause pain. See, again, those are great statements, right? And the cycle repeats. But it doesn't change the fact whatever happened 2 months ago happened 2 months ago. Whatever happened yesterday happened yesterday. You're not going to change what happened by being sorry. And you're not going to change what happened by not taking responsibility. That's what I was trying to tell her. Like, okay, I did things that were wrong. But now she's attacking me and I'm attacking me, right? When we each of us got to take our own responsibility. I can only take responsibility for me, for my actions. I can't help that person take responsibility for their actions. But if they're so stuck in victimhood, right, where they're like, I don't see anything but a victim. I'm a victim. And bow down to me. I'm a victim. And you got to feel sorry for me. And you got to have empathy for me because I am a victim. Can't you see? I'm a really bad victim here. And acknowledge me. Acknowledge my victimhood. You can't fall for that. No, it's not lack of accountability. Accountability is about yourself. If you're the ultimate victim of someone, if someone did you so wrong that you can't move on because they are so wrong, then you're a victim. We cannot be a victim 24 hours a day. At some point, you got to be like, you know what? Where am I wrong? What did I do? Right? Because that's where I've been. I did things wrong. That's where the relationship ended. But I'm not going to take 100% of the responsibility 100% of the time. She did things wrong too, but it's not my place to put her in her place. If we would have went into the conversations that I went to this past meet, and I would have went like, look, I did this. That was painful. That was wrong. That was all of that. And she did the same thing. She's like, well, let me tell you about what I did. I take responsibility for this, and that. Now we're at a place that we can work something out. Now we can conversate. She's worked on those things that she did wrong. And whatever next relationship or whatever the next situation is, I'm gonna fix those things so they don't happen again. And if we do this mutually, right? She does that and I do that, we can move on in a healthy way. But if she's expecting me to bow down and apologize, which I'm not against that after we both admit we have something to do with the accident, with the ending of the relationship happened because the both of us. If not, we will still be in the relationship, even if it's a one-sided relationship. It ended because she did things wrong, I did things wrong. Now we can go into another competition of, well, who was worse? You did worse things. Now we're back to square one. Now we're measuring, no, well, what you did was worse. No, what you did was worse. Now what you did was worse. Now, what are we talking about? That's some kid high school stuff. So if you don't know the role you play, no, but don't worry about the role that the other person played. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this to be completely oblivious to what role I play. I'm not gonna go to her, and that's why it went wrong with our conversation and ended in a not good place because I'm not. It's not my place to point out all the wrong things that she did. She did things that were wrong, and they were wrong. She's got to figure those things out. But she's in the victimhood where I'm the bad guy, and I admit I did wrong things. So now we're both against me. Now she's telling me I'm the bad guy. Now I'm telling myself I'm the bad guy. Now I'm the bad guy. Now I'm acting like the bad guy because now my new identity is as a bad guy. Nah, man. We're all human and we make mistakes and we all get out of line and we all get out of place and we do things that are wrong. We say things that are mean and we do bad deeds and I'm not gonna worry about her. I'm worried about me. How do I improve so this doesn't happen again in my next situation or whatever? So I know the role I play, and you say, okay, and that mindset where the silence feels like solution, that's an intentional action important post breakup. No, if you're stuck on that breakup, it's because you haven't found a new goal. You need a new. It's not that you got to go into the next relationship, the next situation, but you need. You know, when I broke up, I'm telling you my last breakup, I'm just gonna be open where, we have kids and that's a hard thing. We're not moving on because we have kids in between. So it's not like I can just go my way and forget about what happened. There's this things that we gotta flush out, right? But if it's a competition about who was the worst, is we're not gonna move on. And fix the real things that need to be fixed so we can have the type of relationship that's good for our kids, whatever that may be. And it's not about silence. It's about I'm working on my next things. You know what I mean? I start going to the gym. I start eating better. I start making better decisions for me. I can't wait for her to get her life straight. I got to do better decisions for me and for my kids. And to be honest, she's made it really difficult for the kids to have access to me. Long story. It's just difficult, right? And I can't blame her. Again, I can say she's doing this, and that, and she don't let me see my kids. And I could be a victim easy. I can't do that. I gotta be better and just continuously every day wake up. And I wake up and I feel like shit, but I gotta get to the gym and then I feel a little better. Then I get some work done and I feel a little better. And then I keep every day just getting a little better, a little better. And this happened for months, and I haven't seen her in months, and I see her, and she's the same person at the same place, probably even worse, because now she uses the breakup and all of that as the blame for her failures. And that's what I told her, like, you can't blame me all your life because you don't get better. I am not the scapegoat. That's gonna be temporary. At some point, people are gonna be like, "Look, that happened 20 years ago, and you're still stuck in that." There's people like that. For 20 years, they use one person as the reason why their life is fucked up for 20 years. Can't do that. At some point, you gotta be like, okay, I'm doing something new, better. I'm gonna reinvent myself and be a better person. You gotta do that right now, you know? Now you say, um, okay, you got a question. So would you two be able to hash things out and apply new knowledge if there was sexual, emotional, mental, or financial abuse? Where's the value in being able to express without either party being deregulated, or should it be a no-go for her if physical assault was involved? Look, physical assault is a very serious thing. And it happens so much. I can't say that was my situation, but the financial thing, for example, that was a topic that came in because she tried to blame that thing too, financial abuse. Now, if I have zero and she feels I should give her something and I have zero and I don't give her what she wants, is that financial abuse? Or I'm just not in a position to give her what she maybe even deserves? I'm not saying, I'm not questioning what. I'm just saying if I don't have it, I don't have it, right? So if we live together and I can't pay the rent, I can't pay the rent. Like, there's at some point the blame game's got to stop with you, right? And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. I stopped that blame game. And if I have $1 million, and I don't want to give you a dollar, then maybe you got an argument about financial abuse. But if I'm in debt and I owe $1,000 and you want me to give you $1,000 when I already owe $1,000, I don't got $1,000. We got a problem now because you skew perspective of what you deserve, and what you are actually able to get is wrong. Because I deserve a millionaire wife, and I don't got it. So now do I blame the wife? Right? Like, nah. My expectations are not in line with what I'm able to get. Now I want to live 200 pounds, but I can only live 50. Who's there to blame? The weights? The gym? I say, ah, this gym sucks. Nah, it's me. Like I'm not at that place where I can lift that. So guess what? I'm gonna lift 51 pounds today. Next week, I'm gonna lift 52. Hopefully one day I lift 100, 200. Right? The same thing with relationships and your emotions. If you're only emotionally capable, if your cup can only hold 8 ounces and you feel like you expect, you know, 30 ounces, you can't even hold that kind of liquid. You can't hold that emotional power that you're asking for. And you put if the effort puts either party in a state of distress, will that be grounds to disconnect, even if it doesn't involve the abuse that leaves visible scars as a financial abuse, love? So what do you think the reason is for men using those forms of abuse inside physical to excuse power? You again, you're labeling how you feel about a situation as abuse off the bat. I'm not saying that it's not abuse. I can't, and if you want to jump on, I'll let you in here and we could talk. But the truth is the mislabeling of abuse. Not everything is abuse. And there's abuse in both sides, right? Because if you get a man, and physical abuse is a no-go, whether it be in relationships or with your kids, it's not no-go. But let's be human for a second. Let's be human for a second. Like the biggest wimp gets bullied enough, he's going to lash out. Is it wrong? It is, but is it understandable? That's the question. If you bully someone every day, it's just a constant bullying, and you bully that person in the wrong day at the wrong time, that person may not react the same way. You're like, well, every day he took the abuse and he never did anything. And then one day he lashed out. I'm not saying that's excusable, but it's like if you get a dog, right? And you start going, right, you start fucking with that dog. And that dog is on a leash and he's like, he's barking and you're like, "Rrr," and you're like, you still one day, he gets off that leash, he's gonna come bite. And that's not right. That doesn't make it right. It's just, sometimes we gotta look at our actions. It's like, well, if I knew I was in a situation that this would have it was gonna happen, that this dog was gonna come after me, or that this person was gonna lash out because I know that person's gonna lash out and you still are in the vicinity waiting for it to happen for whatever reason, then is it really abuse or is it an unfortunate circumstance for everyone involved? So you say, no, you see, up to this point, your comments, creative unicorn, where you're saying, I haven't heard anything you've done, right? I see you're saying, well, if the man abuses, if the man does this, is it condoned? What about men that abuse power, the financial abuse? I haven't heard anything about, have you ever done anything wrong? How did you rectify that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know you. I don't know if you've done anything wrong. Maybe you're perfect, and that's fine. So people are perfect, I guess, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my meet with this person from my past was about we're both not perfect, right? And I went with that flag in hand. Look, I'm willing to here to reconcile some of the things that I've done in the spirit of moving on and fixing some things so we can fix some things that need to be fixed. And she came with that same mentality of victimhood. And she's not moving on because moving on from victimhood into taking responsibility means that from that point on, her failures are her fault. She don't want that. She want to blame me. She want to blame me for herself, for other people, for her family, for whoever it is, even for my own kids and her kids. She's one day going to tell her kids that the reason that they don't have certain things or things didn't work or because the reason that she struggles is because of me. That's a sad state of affairs for everybody. Look, I'm bringing on there. I invited you there because you got to be able to take some responsibility. I can't talk about her. I could go here in this live and tell you all kinds of things she did that will make her look bad and that will give me some kind of power, like, oh, I'm here because of this and she did this and that. Nah, man, I can't blame her. She had a lot to do with where I ended up. I can't blame her for everything. There's some things for her I can blame her for, but I'm not gonna blame her. I'm gonna take my 50% of the blame, fix those things, and move on, right? Because like you say, um, okay, cool, got you. So I'll check when you're available. But what I'm saying is, I do this and I put it out for me, and my kids might see this video one day in 10, 20 years. They might be in a situation similar to mine because unfortunately, cycles continue and I'm not living something very far from what my dad went through and my mom went through. I'm pretty much in a very similar situation that they did. I never thought I'd be here because I ran from this. I didn't have kids till I was older because of I didn't want to be here. And here I am. So my kids most likely gonna end up here. So hopefully they see this and I'm gonna tell them, look, you have a lot to blame and that's all you can take care of. If you have a lot to blame, take care of what you're blaming. Like, you cannot hash out something when there's someone else until you fix yourself. And if every day you wake up blaming that person for the situation you're in because it was bad, right? It was bad. And now man, I love living in this place of I don't want to move and fix the wrong that was done to me because then I stop being a victim. Now I got to face the consequences that, hey, I'm not even fixing me. I'm not going to school. I'm not getting a new job. I'm not working out. I'm not eating right. I'm not spiritually getting connected. I'm not meeting new people. I'm not going to new places. I'm not making more money. I'm not getting a new place. I'm not doing anything because this person did me wrong 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. I like living here because I can tell people my story and they'll feel bad for me. Oh, what? He did what? To you? That's fucked up. I see why you're fucked up because he fucked you up. So don't fix yourself. You can't even fix yourself. Now you're crippled to your emotions for the rest of your life. Nah, you only a victim for as long as you want to be a victim. And I'm not saying that we're not victims. Shit happens to us. Somebody breaks into your house and steal your stuff. That's fucked up. You're a victim. So that means you're not gonna buy new stuff. Like they stole everything, your furniture, your TV, everything. Oh man, somebody broke it and stole my stuff. People are gonna go like, oh man, how unfortunate, right? So a year later, hey, what happened? Yeah, somebody broke in. Again? No. The same time, he said, well, that was a long time ago. Why don't you buy new stuff? New furniture, buy new locks so people don't come in. Like, you can't live in an empty house because someone broke in and fucked it up and stole all your stuff. At some point, you gotta go out and buy new furniture. I can't afford new furniture. It's like, well, then you got a whole new problem in your hands. You can't afford new furniture. You can't blame the thieves because you can't move on from that bad situation that was bad. No one has the right to go in and steal your stuff, but also it's no one's responsibility to go and fix it and buy new things. Move out of that neighborhood. Move out of that place, but you still gotta go buy new furniture and get your life back in order. And now you have a story to tell. Hey man, one time they broke in and took everything. I had to buy everything new. But look at me, I got new stuff and I got new lucks. And I wish somebody would break in here again. I put that in a large system now. And I got some weapons or a bat. Man, I'm fighting this time. We can only be a victim for so long. That's what my point is. It's like she's still a victim. Okay, we can't move on because I'm not. And I can only take part of the blame of everything that happened because there's things that happen too. And you know, part of the reason the situation and our conversation went in a bad way because I usually was the one to just take it. I was the bad guy. Oh yeah, I did this wrong. Yeah, this is the I was a bad guy constantly. And now I went with a different mindset. I'm stronger. I'm different. I rebuilt myself. So I'm not gonna take the bad guy argument anymore. Yeah, I did things wrong. Yeah, I broke into your house and stole everything. Now we're back at it. We're talking. Oh, you don't have furniture? Yeah, because you took it. It's like, yeah, but that was months ago. What's stopping you now from buying new furniture? I don't know. Well, you should buy me furniture because you know, it goes back to well, okay, I took the furniture. Well, guess what? You took my car. You should buy me a car. It becomes an ego blame game. It becomes a back and forth. You're never gonna win with the ego. She has her ego. I have my ego. Now because of ego competition. And then now, oh well, you won't see the kids until you do this, this, and that. We're back at square one. Now we're back at a place where like, yo, it's not even about me and her. It's about do the kids have a right to have access to me? I could be the worst guy in the world, right? Let's talk about it. Do they have a right to have a father in their lives? She don't think so because she rather be that struggling mom, right? There's a lot of struggling moms out there that they want to be a struggle mom. There's struggle moms, right? They want to tell people, yeah, I have to be the mom and the dad. You didn't have to be, you chose that. Oh, well, the dad didn't want to be a part of their lives. There's a lot of dads that deadbeats dad out there that they don't want to be a part. That's not your case. You wish I disappeared and didn't want a part of them. That's not happening. And I'm still here. And I don't care if you get annoyed. I'm still gonna try and I'm never gonna give up. Because one day when they tell me, Dad, you were never there, it's like I was there. I didn't leave. I didn't abandon you. None of that. I'm gonna clear up their traumas, right? Because they're right now going through a trauma phase. When you don't, they're gonna grow up victims, right? And they're gonna blame me or her or us at some point, just like I probably did for a long time with my mom or my dad, and my dad should have been there, or my mom should have done things different. At some point, at my age, I can't keep blaming that. I gotta be like, yo, I gotta fine, that happened. Water under the bridge, man. I'm not gonna be a bad dad because that's what I saw. I'm not gonna be a bad parent because I didn't have a right parent. Nah, I gotta fix that. And it's not a two-way street. So just wanted to go live here, not even for all this information, but to let you know that if you're living a fucked up life, you're fucked up. The victimhood is only temporary. You're a victim for 2 seconds. Yeah, somebody broke in and stole your stuff. Be a victim for 2 seconds. You deserve this 2 seconds of victimhood. After that, go out there and get more furniture. Man, get some milk crates and make a new living room out of milk crates. And now you got some cool seats. And you don't got a TV, get yourself a radio, put your iPad as a TV. Like, figure it out, figure out a solution. And I'm preaching to me too. Sometimes I do get stuck and I don't want to get up and I don't want to work harder. What's the use? Why am I keep working hard? I don't see results. Like, nah, man. It's like people that want to get in shape, go to the gym for 2 days and look in the mirror and they quit. They're like, man, look at my body, it's still fucked up. Don't look in the mirror at all. Go to the gym for 6 months straight. Then look in the mirror. Then you can judge something. You eat wrong and you eat right like one meal and you quit. Like, ah man, I ate this morning, I ate, protein, I ate right, and look at my body. It still just can't do that. It's a you gotta change the habit. And when you habit is victimhood, we get into that habit of victimhood. You can't get out of that. You don't feel comfortable not being a victim. Because guess what? When I stopped being a victim, all the responsibility of why my life was fucked up fell on me. It hurts. It's like, man, my life's fucked up. Because of me, you start not liking you. You start hating you because you realize that you're a piece of shit. It's hard to not have someone to blame for you being a piece of shit, right? It's like, shit, I'm fucked up mentally, emotionally, physically, I'm fucked up. And all these years, I blame my environment. I blame other people. I blame not having money. I blame people. Someone gives me $10. I blame them for not giving me 20. Like once you go into that blame mentality, you can't get out of that just because you wake up and you have a different mentality because you watch a video and now you think you're better. Nah, you gotta realize your life is a mirror of your actions and you. Your life is not a mirror of the person that did you harm. Your life is not a mirror of the person, you know, growing up. I remember one time I got beat up by this dude, right? And I was like, man, I don't deserve to get beat up by this dude. But looking back, I was always fucking with this dude, right? And you know, like we had a thing where he fuck with me, I fuck with, and then he was the better fighter, so I got to, I can't blame him, right? Because he beat me and for some messed up shit because whatever reason, I felt like it wasn't my fault. But man, that taught me a lesson. It's like, man, people will show you their worst when you are your worst. When you are your best, it's hard for people to fuck with you. It's hard for people to fuck with you when you're living a righteous life. It's really difficult for you to go be a Buddhist monk that's meditating. It's hard. Okay, you see a Buddhist monk, right? And he's sitting somewhere, he's meditating. You don't just go over there and start fucking with him. Like, hey man, what's up? Like, it's hard to do that because he's living a righteous life and he's minding his business and he's trying to better himself. But now, see somebody over there talking shit and you go over there and talk shit too, there's gonna be a conflict. And some of us are used to that conflict, that chaos. We're not comfortable at peace. Peace becomes very boring when you grew up in chaos. I grew up in chaos. I grew up in the hood where everything was just somebody's fighting somebody or yelling. Like, there is no like peace. Peace is like you feel uncomfortable, like, oh, I feel uneasy. Let me go start some shit over there. And it's hard to get out of that victimhood mentality and it's hard to grow up and look at yourself in the mirror. But if you can look at yourself in the mirror and go, look, we fucked up. Talk to you. Be like, yo, we're victims here. We're fucked up. What we doing about this? Well, you and me, myself, what are we doing? Oh yeah, but stop talking about her. What are we doing about us? You're going to realize who you are. You're going to realize what you're capable of. You'll realize that you have a lot more to blame than you think. And it doesn't feel good. And the truth hurts. And the truth is that everybody got a different perspective of the truth. My truth is not your truth, even though we were there. At the same time, we experienced the same thing. I might think it was 80 degrees. If it felt hot, you should be like, no, it was cold as hell. Now we're going to argue? No, it was hot. What are you talking about? It was hot. I was sweating. It was hot. No, it was cold. I had a jacket on. Now we don't even talk about the next thing because our egos are fighting over a truth that is subjective. Yeah, some fucked up shit happened to you. And that person made it happen. But if you think, well, is there anything fucked up that happened to them? We're not talking about whether you deserve whatever happened to you. We're talking about, is it a two-way street? And if it's a strictly 100%, you were sitting there meditating as like a Buddhist monk, and this person came fucking with you and started just fuck with your life, right? Man, you got the bad end of that stick. So move on from that and hopefully that never happens again. But I'm sure that when bad things happen to us, it's not because we were sitting there meditating. Um, nah, we probably had, even if it's 1%, we probably had something to do with things that happen to us. We put ourselves in the bad situation. You know, if it's 2 a.m., you start walking down that dark alley and if somebody comes and starts some trouble, like what do you expect happens at bad alleys? Not that you deserve it, but you put yourself in a situation that you could have went the long way. You could have went by the light side of the street. Talking to me, I do that all the time. I try to take that shortcut. Don't have the expected result. I can't blame people around me or my environment or not all the time. I can blame them for 2 seconds and then I'd be like, next time I'm gonna go the right way. And if you're waiting for an apology, I'm not gonna wait for an apology from her, from all the things she did, things that were wrong. I can't blame her or like she's never gonna come and apologize. Can't wait for that. I fix me, and hopefully one day I'm such a better person that is obvious to everybody around. And if it's not, it doesn't matter. I don't depend on that to feel better about me. So Starting to rain, so I'm gonna be out. Hopefully, this helps somebody. Hopefully, it helps my kids one day if they watch this. Hopefully, it helps me if I watch this one day and I'm again in a bad situation that I put myself in. Because right now, if I'm here in this rain, I'm blaming God. Man, God, why is it raining? Can't you see I'm doing it live? Right? That's ridiculous. It's raining and I'm still sitting here in this live. Oh, I'm getting wet, man. It's your fault. It's everybody's fault, man, because I'm getting wet. And then later, my clothes are all wet and I don't change clothes. Cause nah, man, I can't change clothes because freaking rain got me all wet. Nah, I gotta now go somewhere. I gotta put on something warm, something dry, right? Same thing with life. Life fucks you up bad. I go get up and get new clothes on and new furniture and a new person in your life. Get yourself a better person. There's no better revenge than finding someone new and better. Oh, you want to make that person feel bad and don't insult them. Get yourself somebody better. One, you get somebody better, you stop needing that old person. Two, trust me, it's gonna hurt them. No better revenge than becoming better. Really coming down. I'm out. Peace, y'all.